Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, Vanity is back in Card Fight Vanguard as only Vanity reviews. Don't take conscripts, we'll start, shall we? This time, currently, we have a little few reviews. We don't have a lot, but we do know a lot of good stuff is coming out, such as Luquier, which I think a lot of people are excited about. Me personally, even though I do prefer Asuka as the Bae instead of fucking Misaki. That was an insult to all Misaki people, I'm sorry. But I'm not really excited for Luquier because I don't really care for Luquier Silverthorns, but whatever, we're getting Luquier today, or we should be getting it today or later today. You know what I mean, because I'm recording this obviously a day in advance. So let's go and get this started, shall we? We got some decent reveals upside of that, so let's go. First up, we have Relentless Dragon, grade 3 jumper story, 13k base, act rear, put this to soul, look at the top card of your deck, call to one new card from one of them, and discard the remaining cards. Okay, so pluses to this. This is the most freest soul charge I've ever seen in Kyoto Sanctuary, and not to mention the fact you can get a unit card to board if you want to, or you can just choose to send that card to drop zone. Either way, I like that skill, because unless it's a unit card, I mean, granted that like gives you intention to call it, and yeah, seeing a trigger sucks, but I can definitely see this being useful in PBO if you built a more Soul Blast variant PBO, or you built a very Counterblast heavy version of PBO where you want to use the Soul Blast 2 card to countercharge 1 for other reasons, or maybe you want to use Relentless Dragon to get the soul back up, or just any other future builds. Possibly Graham Grace, but I could not see genuine reason why Graham Grace should run this. Either way, Relentless Dragon's a nice grade 3. I like it. I think it's interesting. So maybe a 2 over 3 of tech, honestly, in some decks. Then we have Thundering Bullet of Duststorm Sadid, grade 2 5k shield, 8k base, auto when you're placed on rear or guard circle. If you have more rear guards than your opponent, this unit gets plus 5k power, 5k shield on a turn. Before, I was going to say it was good. Then I saw it had an 8k base, and then my good immediately turned into a you run this if you have budget. Like, there are other cards that work better. The only reason I can see you running this over those other cards is because it has a 10k shield compared to the other ones that have 15k power. But like, considering the fact he's in on plays, I am like heavily thinking you only run this at most day of a 2 of because shield. But even then, Eugene does not have shield issues, at least not the way I play it. So 2 of at most if you choose to run it, but I could not see genuine reason to equip this in your deck. And then we have a card that was revealed a long time ago, but I just wanted to show it off because we got it in Discord, and that was Maiden Arlim, you know, the standard PG. I'm not going to bother reading its code. You can read it if you want to, if you don't know any of the PGs do. I just want to show this off because I really do like Arlim's art. I always liked the rainbow theme I got out of Arlim because, I don't know, every time I saw her in an art, it felt like rainbows or like rainbow color would be seen. I really like this one. I like the shield. For once, I actually like her hair and her face, so overall, I like this card a lot. I might honestly just run this as my PG and other Dark States just because I think it's actually fucking cool. Then we have our new Rarami and Rarami cards. Both of them are grade 1s. We also have news that the new Mikani is going to be a grade 1 as well. So I like how Raidlina upped in grades, but then the other 3 had to drop in a grade, so that's interesting. But anyways, it's Showtime, or Mimi. I don't know why every time I feel like it's Showtime, the image of whatever the fuck his name was from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, you know, the guy, if you watch the abridged, he says something about darts in his butt. I don't fucking know. You all know who I'm talking about. The guy who plays Abyss Actors. Every time I hear the words, it's Showtime, the scene from the abridged that goes, "Silence, bitch! The real fan favorite is making his move." And then he goes, real fan favorite. Oh, we'll see about that. I don't know why. Every time I hear the word Showtime, that appears in my head. Anyways, go on boost 5k shield, 8k base, auto when it's put into the drop zone from your soul during your turn, combat boss 1, call it to a unit. Call this unit to a back row circle in the same column as your front row unit with Rami unit's card name. Also, I haven't been fucking this up because I thought that was an axe skill that you... Okay, so that's... I mean, not that good, though. I mean, well, it's fine, but the issue is, though, I have not been using this at all. I mean, it works for the Rarami thing because you can actually run both, and it actually does a lot of deck room, and not to mention the fact that it allows for sneaky combo plays with big numbers. I just never remember that's a skill. And then Glitter, if your Vanguard's a Tamiyura, gets the following effect, which is auto rear at the end of the battle. This unit boosted into anything, which is one of my favorite things about this card. You put all your rear guards in column as it to soul, and then if you put a Rami into its soul by the effect, you may, and you have not countercharged this turn, soul boss 1 to countercharge 1. Not countercharged by this ability, just countercharged in general. So here's my issues with this, and this is one for both of them. Both of them at the end of the battle they boosted require you to put all your rear guards to soul. I did not realize that when I first played this deck. So that sucks because it's a mandatory skill because you don't have to pay a cost to it, which means, you know, you're losing a column. On the bright side, though, this increases your chances to call rear guards, make bigger numbers, make bigger columns, etc. So I like the fact that it can be used during the battle phase, main phase, and technically, no, never mind, it can't be used during your opponent's turn, but like it can pretty much be used whenever during your turn because you can just soul blast it out when you call one of your Rami or Rimi grade 2s to the rear guard, and then you can call it to rear guard by counter blasting 1, and not to mention the fact you can soul blast her out for her skill if you called a Rami, and then if that Rami is in the column, then you can just counter blast 1 to call it back. Either way, I like Rimi's skill a lot. Definitely adds for more performance, and I definitely like it. The fact that it kind of got like that Pale Moon Circus vibe to it, because that makes sense considering its skill. Then we have Ladies and Gentlemen, Rarami. Just like how this one reminds me of the gay bridge scene from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, this one reminds me of The Greatest Showman, where it's like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've waited for. Whoa, I'm not going to bother singing the song, but you know what I mean. So, grade 1 boost, 5k Showtime K base, almost the exact same skill as the other one, where auto when it's put into your drop zone from your soul during your turn. Counter plus 1 calls you into a back or rear guard circles as a front row unit with the Refinement card name. So, technically, you can pick both. I mean, like, if one gets called to the front row, you can just call itself, but great that they're generic between any of the Rarami cards, not the specific grade 2s. And then Glitter Tamayura gets a second effect, which is auto rear then about a boosted anything again, so it can be Vanguard or Rear Guard. Put all the Rear Guards and Calm as unit into your soul, again mandatory. And if you put a Refinement card name from your Rear Guard into your soul by this effect, choose one of your units, it gets +5 for the turn. So great, you know, you can give it to your other Rear Guard that maybe you don't want to suck all your Rear Guards into soul because maybe you want to have those for extra boosters, or save up counterbalance for the Rarami thing, or you know, you just want to give it to Vanguard because maybe you already exhausted all your Rear Guards like I have. All around, it's great. I like this one. Personally, this is my favorite one just because I like to add more numbers, but this one leads to more combo play, so take it as you will, but I do prefer this one as a 4 of. I mean, granted, you put both of them at 4 of anyways because they have the name, but still. Then we have Luxurious Songstress, grade 1 boost, 5k Showtime K base. This, I swear this was a Lyrical Monasterio card. This was either a Lyrical Monasterio card or this was a fucking card from Bermuda from, like, the last set Bermuda had before they dropped V, because I swear to God, this card looks so familiar. Anyways, auto when it's placed on rear guard from your soul to end of turn, this unit gets +5, and the auto rear guard ability when the attack and boosted hits into anything, put it to soul, draw a card. So it's not bad, because that's a free +5, and clearly it can be placed from soul by any means. So that means, you know, you can use it with Bruce, because Bruce can call from soul. You can use it with Chaos to some extent, because I believe Chaos can call from soul. You can use it with Barrow, you can use it with, what's the new ride line we're just getting? Luquier. So you can use it with a lot of decks. Me personally, though, it just seems like, it's interesting, because it's a free 5k and it goes to soul at the end of the battle, it hits and draw. So I'm curious to see what Luquier is going to do, because I'm 95% sure this is meant to be for her, but, you know, currently I'm going to run this out of 3 of and see where Luquier brings us. Then we have, I think I'm going to struggle with the same name of, Itinerant Automaton. Cool ass looking robot, stupid ass sounding name. Grade 1 boost, 5k Showtime K base. Auto rear when this unit boosts. If you have 3 or more set orders with different card names in your orders on this unit gets +5k for battle. Okay. Again, I asked this question. Why did... I know this isn't meant to be for him, it's just a coincidence. But why does it feel like Endogramma is getting support from set 8 when Bartholmetus, the grade 3 for Dark States, that was a promo, didn't get support in set 7 outside of one very generic card that was probably coincidence, because that makes 3 cards now to my or at least 2 to my memory of Brandgate cards that require different order names. So is this Bushy acknowledging like some meta thing I'm not aware of, or is this just like generic support that just happens to be look like it's Endogramma support? I'm curious if they make a new order that does this, that involves that, it's fucking Endogramma support hands down. So Itinerant thing, it's good, interesting, possible choice for my Endogramma deck, but also probably not. So good generic choice. I like a 2 over 3 of, because it does end up helping a lot of decks that have different orders because it's 13k base. Our next review is Refinement Magic Fupris. Grade 1 boost, 5k Showtime K base. Auto rear guard when this unit boosts anything. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 or grade, you may still charge 1. Okay, I like its genericness. It literally works with any fucking grade 3 deck, or any deck really, as long as you get to grade 3 in the first place. I'm very interested to see where the soul play goes, because to my memory, that's a fucking word. To my memory, nothing in Key to Sanctuary really requires the soul. I mean, I can see this being useful in Bastion as last minute, like, get Bastion and soul plays, or Thegria and setting up the soul, but considering we have the new order, I'm pretty sure half of us would pick the order over random luck. As for Hexa Orb, yeah, Hexa doesn't fucking need this. And then, like, what was the other deck? PB? I guess I can see them in PBO, but we also have the Maiden in PBO, so I'm curious, is this supposed to be like a Graham Gray support card, or am I just reading too much into this? In reality, this is just a really fucking generic card. I have no idea. I don't know, I guess ever since, like, knowing fucking how many ride lines Bushy has just thrown out in this set, I'm kind of curious to see where they go. Especially because Graham Grace has gotten no support so far, so I'm kind of just considering every generic card Graham Grace support. So 2 to 3 of Fupris in a Graham Grace deck, just because I need something to call Graham Grace support. At this point, I don't fucking care what it is. And here come our last reveals. This time it's not really because I woke up late, but more than because my fucking Wi-Fi is not working and I had to reconnect on my phone. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started, because I'm not going to put this on the Google Slides. So first up, we have Night of Daylight Canaries, grade 2 5k shoot, 9k base. For Gold Paladin, Use rearguard guard circle. If you call 2 or more units this turn, he gets plus 5k power and 5k shield. So standard unite, easy plus I guess on guardians and rearguard, so that's nice. And then auto when it's placed on rearguard or put onto your guard circle by discarding 1, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, use up to 1 grade 2 less card from among them, call it to rearguard, and put the rest on bottom of deck in any order. If you put on guard circle, you call it to guard circle instead of rear. Okay, I definitely like that because being able to essentially get a free new guard card or get a free new rear guard all around is nice. He can guarantee make his own skill proc off because he counts himself and the unit called, so that's great. Instant 14k / 10k shield plus another possible shield value. I like Canarius a lot. I think he's a good grade 2 and definitely have a lot of bias towards this card, so I'm gonna just say run this at a 3 over 4 and go Paladin because I fucking like him. Then we have, okay, yeah, this is gonna be easier. Then I have Mystic Snake Yomangond, continue, grade 2 5k shield, 10k base, grade 2, I just said stats. Continues this unit. When this card be kind of Soul Blast for the ability of Vanguard, you may Soul Blast this card from any grade from 0 to 3. So this guy counts as both a grade 0, 1, 2, and 3 all at the same time. Well, no, because you pick 1 for him to count as, but that's still great that he can be any of them. And then on a rear once per turn, when your card is put into your drop zone from your soul during your battle phase, counterblast 1, draw a card, and for each grade of the card put into your drop zone, this unit gets +5 for the turn. So if you soul blast a copy of himself, and one of them's on your board, you counterblast 1 to draw a card and give this thing +20 if, +20 if you made it a grade 3. All around, like that skill, very interesting, adds a little bit more power plays, definitely works a lot better for Fafnir, Fenrir, that's what his name was. I don't know why I've been focusing on Fafnir lately. But yeah, no, it's a good skill. I like it, adds a lot of numbers, adds hand cards, and adds different soul variety. Seems very nice for Fenrir and any other Genesis deck for V, and premium, so one of them is a solid 3 of it at the very least. Then we have, I'm pretty sure the Arlim most of you people were waiting for, personally not me, and that is Silverthorns. First we have Silverthorn Assistant Lelena, auto rearguard auto resort upon if you 1 second draw a card, standard start, not specified, it's just a grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base. There's not much to say about her, though I do like this little ball thing she's flying on. I've never noticed that about her, so that's cool. Then we have Silverthorn Assistant Irina, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. My only favorite of the Silverthorns because I like fucking spamming it in V because it's so funny to use in V. Auto when it's put upon by a unit with only Pale Moon in its clan, so you can't use it for any dark states for Arlim, but at least you can use it in general. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose out to 1 card from among them, put it to your soul, and shuffle your deck. Okay, great, so it does work outside of V, obviously, in fact, it does fucking anything in V, really. You can use it, or premium, I mean. So, pretty great that it's a free top 7 look regardless of who rides upon it. Downside is very restrictive for D, but who cares. And then auto is placed on rearguard. If you have Vanguard Luquier in its card name, you may soul charge 1. Well, that's not nearly as fun as fucking spamming Irina in V is, but you know, being able to possibly do a soul charge and not a mandatory one, I guess is cool, but yeah, if you ask me, I like the V version more just because I get to spam soul charges on different ways, because wasn't that the one that's like top 3, put a card to soul? If it wasn't Irina, then it's the one that puts top 3 into soul. I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, that's what made Pale Moon fun for me, so yeah, I guess Irina's not bad, probably a 3 of in terms of main decking for Luquier for now, but I can definitely see Luquier not needing this after a while. Then we have Sylvan Thorn Marionette to Lillian, grade 2 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when this unit was rolled upon by a unit with Pale Moon only for its clan. Soul charge 1, choose card from your soul, put it to your hand. Okay, not bad. You can use this to fetch a PG because it never specifies what you have to add. So technically it could be any Dark States card, not specifically Pale Moon, so that's pretty much great. I like that skill. And then auto is placed on rearguard or put on guard circle. If your Vanguard is Luquier, she gets plus 5k power and 5k shield on a turn. Okay. Now, I might be reading too much into this, but the fact that it says Luquier and not specifying one specific Luquier, I'm assuming that means Bushy in the future might end up giving us the D version of one of Luquier's evolutions, such as Venus or Reverse. I might be reading too much into that, but at the same time, I think it's a possibility, or this might just be made solely for premium because there are 3 different Luquiers in premium. All around, I like Lillian's skill a lot. Getting that free soul charge and bouncing anything to hand in your soul is pretty nice, and the 5k power and 5k shield. It's not bad. I do prefer the 10k power plus from the V Lillian, but what you gonna do? Then we have our main grade 3 and Silver and Thorn Dragon Tamer Luquier. Grade 3, 10% armor, 13k base. Active Vanguard once per turn, cost by counterblast. You want to put a hand card to your soul. You choose up to 3 unit cards with different grades from your soul. Call in a rear guard in your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater. All those called units get plus 5k for the turn. So, go board. Great. And then auto event at the end of your turn, put 2 rear guards into your soul to draw a card. Okay, I like that. It's a you can start going on turn 2, turn 3, even if you went first. It just does better if you went second. And not to mention the fact you can refill your soul regardless of what grade your opponent's at and get a plus out of it. Okay, I like this skill a lot. Being able just to get a board and possible numbers out of it is amazing. And it's very much cheaper than the original Luquier, because I believe it was counterblast 2 before, now it's counterblast 1 and put a hand card to soul. So not only are you increasing your chance of being able to call 3 units, but it's also cheaper to do so. And again, not to mention the fact that you can send things to soul and refill it for next turn. Alright, I like this thing's skill. I think it's fucking amazing. It's a nice balance of offense and I guess consistency is what I would call it. So, you know, I like it, and there's nothing more to say about it. Then we have our new order, which I'm surprised they gave right out the gate, and that is Hurry and Join Silver and Thorn Servant. Grade 3 normal order. It can only be played... I'm sorry, what? This card can be played from the soul and play it by playing a counterblast 1 to... if your Vanguard is a Luquier and its card name. Okay, wait. So just to make sure, you can play this from either the hand or the soul, because that's the way this worded means. Okay, fuck it, whatever. Anyways, choose one of your rear guards, and it gets auto rear guard when your Vanguard attacks. Put this unit to soul. Choose a card with only Pale Moon for its clan and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your soul. Call it to rear guard until end of turn. So that's good, because it gets multi-attack. So that's just good in general. I don't know why, I feel like this is going to cause problems in Premium. I don't know why my mind's like immediately going to Alice from frickin' Wonderland. Or not Alice from Wonderland, what's that one card? The Great Nightmare Doll Alice. I don't know why she immediately went to my mind. I don't think this would break Alice, but whatever. It's a good order. This makes me think that like that's extremely unique, and I find it funny and I like it a lot. So hard possible 2 to 3 of in a Luquier deck, just because play it from fucking soul if it ends up in there, I guess, and then, you know, multi-attack with the deck. So hell yeah. Then we have Silver and Thorn Breathing Dragon. Grade 1, boost 5k shield, 8k base. Auto rear, when this is placed on back or rear guard from your soul, very specific. If your Vanguard has Luquier in its card name, soul blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets continuous with Vanguard. All your front or rear guards get plus 5 for the turn. I was waiting for them to give the plus 5 ability. I was like, the only reason I want to run the V Luquier over this current one is because I believe the V Luquier gave more power, because she gave it to front row. Yep, there it is, the plus 5 to front row. I mean, this V Luquier, D Luquier, in my opinion, still isn't as powerful in terms of numbers as V Luquier, unless I'm completely forgetting what V Luquier does, because V Luquier can get Excel gifts and make boards faster, but at the same time, this one makes boards more consistently and still gets a good amount of numbers around the board in total. So yeah, honestly, I do like Breathing Dragon though. This is Dark States. You are definitely gonna have fucking soul for Breathing Dragon. I don't know how you wouldn't. So yeah, 4 of a Breathing Dragon. Like I said, you are almost guaranteed to have soul for this. And then our last card for today is Silver and Thorn Rising Dragon. Grade 2 inside 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when this is placed on rear guard by putting a hand card to your soul, draw a card. Okay, so someone's being played in every fucking Dark States deck now. And continues rear guard during turn. If you have a Vanguard Luquier in its card name, you code and 2 more units were placed from your soul during this turn. He's counted towards this as well. This unit gets plus 10. And if 4 more placed, he gets an additional 10. I know what I'm doing after this, so I don't need to explain what I'm gonna do. You all probably can assume what it is. 4 of Silver and Thorn Rising Dragon. I shouldn't have to tell you why any of that is remotely good, and we all know I'm not gonna use this thing to the best of its ability because I'm only gonna use it outside of Luquier. But I'm just gonna say this right now. This skill is stupid, and stupid I mean good stupid, and then this skill is. If you saw me play Silver and Thorn Rising Dragon in V, you know what I'm going to do with this. Without further ado, I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. All around Luquier seems very interesting. I There are words I want to say, but I'm gonna refrain from using them, and instead I'm just gonna say, watch my Luquier fight video, watch what chaos I let reign when I play this deck on its weakest form, and as I have my bias towards Canarius, and I can't wait to play Gold Paladins again V. So I'm gonna end here. If you guys enjoyed, don't like, subscribe, join the Discord, follow Switch, and I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to stand up, your Vanguards.